Greetings everyone, I'm RSV. This is my Soaring Blades Bouncer Guide. It will be broken down into Basic, Skill Tree, Intermediate, and Advanced. So let's begin. Soaring Blade Bouncer's normal attack is a series of slashes, ending with a slash that cuts through the air in front of it in an X shape. Destructive Spark is a PA with two variants. The PA starts by moving the player character forward, with blades spinning around them. If you do not reactivate the ability by clicking the PA button again, you will finish by doing a staying motion and slice enemies around you. Contrary to this, if you pop the PA at any time during the PA's animation, you'll use a more powerful version of the PA that is aimed at single target. The attack will cause blades to attack around you. You will not gain air from this PA if you're already in the air when you use it, however. Rampaging Harrier. Rampaging Harrier is a series of slices in front of you that causes you to move forward unless your target is already on top of you. If you do not reactivate the ability during the ability, you'll end by causing a rain of blades to fall on the target in an area. Again, this ability has two variants. The second variant, if you choose to end the PA short at any time, will instead cause you to direct waves of blades at a target enemy. The next PA is called Roaring Pheasant. Roaring Pheasant is an attack where you spin forward, slicing enemies in a line in front of you. If you hit an enemy, you will not stop with this PA. If you choose not to finish the PA, you'll end the attack by slicing what's in front of you. If you decide to reactivate the PA again, you'll instead stop and then do a spinning attack in place. Soaring Blade Bouncer's weapon action and Fanatic Blade. The Soaring Blade Bouncer's weapon action can be used even if you do not use a PA. The weapon action at base causes two projectiles to fly out and hit the target twice. If, however, once per PA, you were to use the weapon action with the required skill point and Bouncer as your main class, you can use this to block an attack that would otherwise hit you during a PA. Upon using Fanatic Blade, you instead fire 6 projectiles, but they do less damage. Both versions of the weapon action recover PP. The Photon Burst causes you to summon blades in front of you. The blades damage what's in front of you, and then you finish by slicing the area in front of you for damage. Soaring Blade Bouncer also has the basic attack options of the downward slam, a step counter, and the slide attack. Moving on to the Bouncer skill tree. First off again, we have Defeat PP gain. You recover PP when a nearby enemy is downed. Defeat Amplifier. Increase the down factor applied to your enemies, causes you to down enemies faster. Partial Destroy Advantage gives you additional damage and reduces the damage you take from an enemy that has broken parts. Physical Decline. Hitting an enemy with your Photon Arts makes it easier to induce physical down. This can be increased up to level 3 by using Photon Art. This increases the rate at which you down enemies by up to 15%. Decline Amplifier. Down factor increase stages will increase more easily for physical decline and elemental decline. This skill point enhances your physical decline and makes it easier to get up to the maximum decline rate. Fanatic Blade. This skill point allows you to use the Fanatic Blade PA. It can only be used with Soaring Blades. Blade Arts Parry. This skill point allows you to use your weapon action to block. Fanatic Blade Augment. Increases the number of photon blades fired with Fanatic Blade is active. This skill increases the number of blades from 2 to 6. Photon Blade PP Recovery. Increases the PP recovery amount when you land a normal attack on an enemy struck by a Photon Blade. You'll notice that when you strike enemies with Fanatic Blade, Photon Blades will stick into them, allowing you to normal attack them for additional PP recovery. Intermediate Soaring Blades Bouncer. First off, you can use Fanatic Blade while using your movement options, such as sprinting and diving, meaning you do not need to walk around slowly when you use Fanatic Blades. To get the most damage out of Soaring Blade Bouncer, you need to use a combination of the Fanatic Blades and the step counter that Soaring Blades Bouncer can use. However, the step counter calls you to fall out of the air slightly. This can be annoying and force you to reposition yourself in the air, or it can easily cause you to drop to the ground in general by accident if you are using the double tap movement function to dodge. You can only use your weapon action to block once during a PA, so keep this in mind. You still may need to end the PA early, that way you don't take damage, especially when you're moving into attacks that hit multiple times. Knowing how to gauge this is an important trait, but when in doubt, step counter. And finally, remember you can use your PAs to reposition and cancel the PA's movement by just simply tapping the PA again. Advanced. This is where I talk about subclasses. However, I will propose another option here. Instead of playing Bouncer as a main class if you wish to play Soaring Blades, I recommend main classing Ranger. I know this sounds outlandish, but hear me out. You can still use Fanatic Blade as a Ranger. In addition to this, you replace a 10% damage multiplier that you get from using Soaring Blades as a main class with a 25% multiplier in Blight rounds. This also allows you to use Blight rounds for your party, which makes you more valuable. Since physical down does appear to be caused by the amount of damage you do, I would assume that this would keep you relatively the same in terms of your physical down, as your physical down option doesn't actually increase your physical down rate that much, and you are still getting the benefit from it. You do, however, lose defeat PP gain, physical decline, decline amplifier, and blade arts parry. Losing blade arts parry is a non-issue since you should be using your step counter instead. Losing physical decline and decline amplifier aren't as big as an issue because you're doing more damage, I would argue. However, you will only have half the defeat amplifier rate. However, by making Ranger your main class, you gain access to Blight rounds and eventually reinforce Blight rounds that increase your damage further. You do not need to actually use the rifle or a launcher, just use them to fire off the Blight rounds. It does, however, give you the option to use the rifle grenade and the sticky bomb of the launcher, which is more utility that you can have. What subclasses should you use if you want to use Bouncer as a main class though? Again, I recommend Fighter, Gunner, Force, or Tector for similar reasons as to Tech Bouncer. So, what about gearing your Soaring Blade Bouncer? Well, here are your options. Firstly, for best in slot, I recommend Addy Deathmel, Alt Secretor free, Gigas Might free, and Dustal Soul free or Datal Soul 2. If you cannot afford Addy Deft or another Addy Augment, I recommend Dreadkeeper or Ale Dominator. For a bare minimum build, however, I do recommend Alt Secretor 2, Gigas Might 2, Gigas Might 2, and Datal Soul as it is likely cheaper. I've been RSV. Here are more of my guides and I will see you next time.